Welcome to Fitzy's Fabulous Scrapbooks. I'm Michelle Fitzgerald, aka Fitzy, and I'm an independent advisor with Creative Memory Scrapbooking, and I'm here to help you make your scrapbooks look fabulous. Thanks for joining me. So I am happy to say I have done my taxes. And now I'm raring to go and to celebrate. And I figured since it's pretty much the first Sunday of the month, I want to try to get back on track with doing a sketch the first week of the month. So we'll see how that goes. But I figured I'll start today. No time like the present, right? All right, so let me get us down to my workspace here. And we'll have a little conversation first because there's a lot of some exciting stuff going on here, and I just want to make sure that's centered enough. Feel like I gotta bring this. Oh my goodness, now I'm making everybody dizzy, right? Ah, I just like to make sure you have a good view so you can see it. All right, I'm going to leave it like that. I think that's good. Okay. Sorry about that. Had to make a few adjustments. I got to get back into the swing. All right. So today we are going to be doing a sketch out of the 110 Scrapbooking Ideas and Sketches book. And we're also going to be using the new collection. I have to tell you, when I opened this up, I was so excited. Let me just get the little cover sheet here so we can look at it. So this is for the Fast to Fabulous paper pack. This is called Life at the Lake. And these papers, you know, when I look at them, I just feel like it's a lot of joyful fun. It's playful and a lot of nature elements, which I love. It's great if you're a camper or if you do anything on the water, whether you're a boater or a fisher or everything. Maybe you just want to swim or hang in a tube while you float down the river. Whatever you do, this pack will be for you if it involves water in any way, shape, or form. And I, for one, am very excited about it because I do have a lot of camping photos, lake photos, mountain photos, hiking photos, water photos. I mean, I could go on and on. So I have lots to do with this pack. All right, so that's the Fast to Fabulous pack. And what I'm going to show you now is the designer pack. All right. Some beautiful papers. All right. This has a little star type print on it. And then we have what looks to me like it could be a log cabin or anything to do with some wood, chopping wood, firewood, whatever you want to do. And then we have a nice little tonal print here in a bluish color. And we have some beautiful green plant-like objects. This makes me think about being near a lake, right? You see those tall plants that grow there. I'm not good with names and plants, but I recognize them when I see them. This makes me feel like it's a sunset, right? Look at how it goes from lighter to darker or darker to lighter. It's beautiful. I love this pattern check. These are my colors, lots of blues. You know me and my blues, but then you get this beautiful red and black check. What do they call that? Like the buffalo plaid or something like that. Super, super cool. And then we have some black and white polka dots. We have this beautiful paper with canoes and kayaks. Love that. I mean, when we go camping, there are some places where we do rent canoes and kayaks and spend some time out on the water. It's awesome. Then we have this beautiful print that has some animals, bears, ducks. I think I even see a moose there. Uh-oh, be careful. And then we have a little greenery with little belts of water and fish and grills and tents. I mean, everything to do with nature and camping and just being outdoors. And if you're somebody who fishes, you are going to love this pack. Lots of fishing in here. All right. Now, let me show you what I created. And what I created here, I used Tropic Time. So let's look at that. Ta-da! So this is, now for this, I could have done whatever I wanted color scheme wise, but I really wanted to create a cool and calming effect here. So I pretty much stayed with the greens, the minty kind of feel, and a little bit of blue added in. And it just gives that real calming, beautiful effect, right? So this is Tropic Time, and this I made from the sketch. And the sketch in our book is located on page 53. And I love this sketch because it was actually a really simple thing to do. And I feel like this is one of those, when you look at it, it looks a little more involved than maybe you think it's going to be. And it's exactly right. It was actually pretty simple. So we're going to get started on that. And here's the top sheet, the cover sheet, just so you can see everything together, just to get a basic idea of what's included in the pack. And the cardstock colors that work well with this pack are the cranberry, the canary, the Kelly green, the blue, and the dark sea green. So these are all colors that will work really well with this collection. All right. So I'm going to use my plus sign design here. I'm going to put this over to this side. And I'm actually just going to fold this to make it a little easier for me. And then I might not have to stand up. All right, we'll see how that works. Just going to fold it. Oh, you know what? I think it's a little too close. But we'll just leave it like this. All right. So anyway, with our plus sign design, we're going to take our zero centering ruler, and we're going to try to find the center point of both the horizontal and the vertical parts of this layout. And again, if you have the book, it's located on page, I think it's 53. And basically in this book, these are all things that have been on the blog at one point or another. But I love having them in the book. It just makes it so easy to go and grab them. And then I can figure out how I want to create. So part of the plus sign design, well, the main feature really is to just create my plus sign. So I am trying to get the center point going horizontally and the center point going vertically. And then I create my plus sign. And what that does is it gives me 4 quadrants. So, and I'm going to just label them 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if this is a 12 by 12 page, I know that each quadrant is a 6 by 6 inch square. All right. Why is this helpful? Because this is going to help me determine what size to cut my papers to. All right. So if you notice going around the whole border, it's very slim, right? So let me just see if we can show that here. The white, see how slim that is? So I'm going to make that 1/4 of an inch going all the way around. right? And then what else I notice is I have this piece right here, and it's hard to gauge exactly how wide it is. But I know that from the bottom of the page to here, I'm probably looking at about 1.5 inches of space. So I'm going to make this piece here be about, I'm going to go with 3.5 inches. And I think that will give us plenty to work with, because a lot of it's covered up by these photos. And the photos that I created here, I did 4 by 6 inch mats. And the white that you see here are just the photo placeholders. So once I have my photos picked out, I'll remove the white and put the photos where that is. Okay. And then the mat was a 4.25 inch square. And so that will hold a 4 by 4 inch photo. These are 4 by 6 inch mats. So the photos will probably be about 3.5 by 5.5 inches. Okay. And let me think if there's anything else. I think we're good. So this is a pretty simple one. I'm going to put a journaling box just like I did here. All right. And then it left a lot of room for you to determine what you want for embellishments. Now, for a tropical page like this, the palm trees really get me. And I have some beautiful pictures that I'm probably going to put on this for my trip to Key West. So I'm very excited to get those photos on. All right. I haven't printed them out yet. I'm working on that still. Now, I want to show you something about picking papers, because I was going through this whole pack and I was thinking, what do I want to use for this layout? And then I thought it might be beneficial to kind of show you how I break a paper pack up when I get it, when it's hot off the press to me. So I have this broken down kind of into 3 different categories, right? So my first category here, I took what I believe is kind of a more basic or tonal type print. And these are prints that I would generally use as kind of a background piece. All right. And I'm using all 12 sheets, and I have, the front of, see how this is over here, right? But the other side is tonal. Okay. So it's all 12 sheets in the pack, but I'm using all sides too, just so I know what I have. So these are my 4 tonal prints from this particular pack, as I see it. You may see it differently, and that's okay. So basically, do what works for you. I always say that, and I stand by it. Now, these prints here, I feel like these are kind of middle of the road. So they could be considered a little busy, but they could also be considered tonal too. Like I could see this page with just white mats or white highlights, and I think it would look great. Or maybe just one color, like red or purple, whatever you would want to do. So I kind of feel like it's middle of the road, because then when I really look at it, it does feel a little busy, but not, because they're so small, the little dots. I don't feel like it's a super busy print. And I kind of feel this way about these 4 sheets in the pack. They're a little busy, but they're not crazy busy. So these I might want to use just in, I wouldn't want to do like a whole sheet of it, but maybe I could do pieces, and less is more, right? So that's my middle of the road kind of sheets. And then my last group, well, these are my busy prints. Some of them might be considered statement pieces, or the pages that are really going to jump out and grab someone's attention. But as you can see, some of these, they are a little busy, so I wouldn't want a whole sheet of it. But used in smaller ways, I think it would work really well. So today I'm going to use this sheet here with the canoes and the kayaks. And I'm also going to use, hold on, this yellow tonal, and I'm also going to use the wood tonal. All right. So I'm going to break out my trimmer, and I'm going to start with my canoes. And I decided when I was creating this, it really just makes sense to create a 1-inch frame on this. So then I can take that middle piece and not waste it, because there's a lot of paper there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And if you've never done this before, I think the easiest way to do this is to have your trimmer, just trying to get things out of the way. So you're looking at your silver bar that has all the measurements on it, okay? And for a 1-inch frame, I'm going to put my paper at the 1-inch mark to the right of the cut line. All right. So I'm on the 1-inch mark right now. So I'm going to put my little bar down. And for me to cut a 1-inch frame, I need to remember that on the housing unit, the white line that denotes where the blade is in the middle of the housing unit. And so I have an inch from the white line to the top of the housing unit, and I have an inch from the white line to the bottom of the housing unit. So I'm going to move it so that that white line is on the 1-inch mark. And when I do that, that actually gets the end of the housing unit to the 2-inch mark. And I'm going to go all the way to the 12-inch mark with the end of the housing unit, which will bring my white line to the 11-inch mark. Now, I know some people might use binder clips and whatnot. I just put my nail, my fingertip, right at the 12-inch mark or wherever it is I want to stop. And I'm good. And I might just go back up, making sure that I stop at the 1-inch mark. All right. And I have one side done. So it'll look like this. And then I'm going to rotate once. And again, I'm going to line up at the 1-inch mark. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing. So I'm going to line up at that 1-inch, have that middle line at the 1-inch. And I just have my little fingertip at the 12-inch mark down here. And side 2 is done. And now we're going to go to the third side. So we're just rotating once each time to get to the next side. And you know, sometimes you go a little further than you wanted to go. Well, for this layout, it doesn't matter. So don't stress out over it because you're not even going to see it. It's going to be covered. I love layouts like that, right? All right. So I'm going to line up at that 1-inch mark. I got my finger on the 12 and we are good. All right, and we have one side left to do. It goes pretty quick. And this is pretty much the hardest part. After that, it's pretty easy. All right, so I'm lined up at the 1-inch mark. I got my fingertip at the 12, and we're good. All right. And I just have to do one little cut. There's always a one little spot that I always miss. Oops. Okay. So here is my frame. And now I have all this extra paper to use. All right. Here's that black polka dot on the other side. So I'm going to put that to the side. I may or I may not use that. We'll see. All right. So here's my frame. Put this over here so I can work here. Now the next thing I'm going to do is take my yellow paper. And I just want to cut a 1/2 inch off of 2 sides. So I'm going to line it up on my trimmer. And I'm using, this particular print is non-directional. So it doesn't matter how I put it in or how I cut it. If you have a directional print, take a look at it and make sure you have it going in the correct direction for the way you want it to work. I'm gonna, after I make my first cut, I'm rotating once and I'm cutting a 1/2 inch. I'm just trying to make sure that's nice and straight. All right, so I have cut from 2 sides to give myself an 11.5 inch square. We are getting somewhere. All right, and then my next thing, oops, why did I put the trimmer away? Silly me. I'm going to take my third piece of paper here. And I'm going to create a little traffic time layout. I'm going to create this piece here. Okay. And so for that, I'm going to cut at 3.5 inches. This is a directional print. I would like to go this way on the page with it. So I'm going to turn it once to cut into it vertically. All right. So I am going to go to the 3.5 inch mark. All right. I think this is going to be cute. Now I am going to take my corner rounder because if we noticed in the sketch, and I did it on this layout as well, they rounded the corners on this piece that we just cut. So I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to do 2 corners. And I don't know about you, but this is probably one of my favorite and most addictive tools, the corner rounder. If you haven't used it, give it a try. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? We need to cut a 1/2 inch off of this. I forgot. So we're just gonna put it into the trimmer horizontally, and we're just gonna cut a 1/2 inch. So that way it'll fit on the yellow paper perfectly. All right. All right. So now let's make some room here. We can go ahead. And I think I might. I think I might use this for the mats. I think that'll be fun. So let's go ahead. I'm just kind of playing with this. I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, but that's the fun thing with crafting, right? Is you get to try things out and see if you like it. So let's see. And again, these are mats, so you're not going to see the full print. But I think it'll give just enough of a border to make it look kind of cool. Yeah, I kind of like that. And I'm not sure if I can get the right size on this. Well, you know, I'll do a 4-inch square. That's okay. All right. Let me put those over there. And let's tack some stuff down here. So as you can see, it doesn't take too long. And once again, it's just knowing what you want to do and what the measurements are going to be. It makes life a lot easier, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of nestle my frame in, and my frame is directional. So I have it in the direction I want it facing. So make sure you do that with yours as well. And I'm just going to go ahead and put some tape runner in the corner. And I'm going to stay as close to the edge as I can. Fix that again. I think this is the last side, yeah. Just make sure you get all those corners. And now we're going to straighten this up. This is probably the hardest part here too, is getting the frame on exactly the way you want. And I don't think mine was perfect on my tropical one, but for me, it was good enough. And so see anywhere that I had a little boo-boo on the frame, it doesn't matter because this piece here that we're attaching is going to cover any mistake that I have made. And that makes me happy. I think that's pretty even. I'm going to go with it. All right. So now we are attached. I'm going to attach this piece here. And this piece, what I did with this kind of nestled in here, I lined the bottom up right around the 11.5-inch line on the right, which brings it to the 1.5-inch mark on the left. Okay. And then it's time for the mats. So you just kind of can put them on however you like. And I would put them up a little higher, just so you don't have a ton of bare space up here. And then this piece gets tucked under like so. And then, let's see, well, let me tack these down and then we'll do some embellishments. And because I like exactly where they are, I'm not even going to lift it. I'm just going to go ahead and do a little tacking. I'm not going to do a ton of adhesive on this right now because I'm going to add photos. So I want to be able to move them around a little bit. But I just want to give them a little something so that way they'll be in the vicinity of where I want them, right? Good. And I might just do a little more here on corners. This comes together pretty quickly. All right, so then let's do some embellishing. That's what I'm dying to get at now. And with this collection, I have to say, it comes with a lot of embellishments. So I didn't realize this until I got it, but there are 4 different packs of embellishments. So one is the gone fishing embellishments. One is the On the Lake embellishments. One is Grillin' and Chillin' embellishments. And one is Escape to Nature embellishments. So I'm going to look at this one. So I feel like this is going to be more camping related, which is kind of what I'm looking for right now. And oh, yep. Very cool. And then we have some stickers too. But here's a tent, here's a campfire. These are so cute. Escape to nature, take a hike. We have a map and a compass and binoculars. Can't move them. We have a little picnic table with a cooler. I mean, it's just so cute, right? All right, so let me get my stickers. And the stickers are really cute too. So you have all your little icons, super cute. Some fish, duck, couple of ducks, some Adirondack chairs, a canoe, a lantern, some plants, all kinds of fun stuff. And then we have our words and titles. Very cool. Loving this. Life is better at the lake. Happy trails, sleep under the stars, live, love, lake, slow down, docks, decks, and flip-flops. I like that one a lot, or decks, docks, and flip-flops. And then we have some border stickers too, which is super cute. So loving this pack. And, oh, I need to put a journaling box up there too. So let's see. The mat pack is adorable. It's got lots of cute little things. I want to look at the bigger ones and see if there's one I can cut down. Ah, those. Yeah, we'll go with that. So I'm just going to cut this one in half. So that would be 3¼ So the variety mat pack has two different sizes. You have your 4x6, and then you have your 4.5 by 6.5 inch mats. So I'm going to go ahead. Oops. I'm going to put that in like so. So I'm doing a lot of tucking. And I like that because it gives it a bit of a layered effect. Right, so there's my journaling box. And now, let's see. I think this could be really cute down here. Let me look at the stickers. This is so fun. Lantern. What I'm gonna do. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna do these little stars because I think that would be cute, actually. Do little stars around the tent. You get some. Very cute. All right, and then we need to put something here. I like that. Oh, we can do this little thing. And let's see. Or I think it's there. Too big, I think. Let's stick with this little guy. Let's see what else we have. All right. Oh no, that's not on the lake. Let's see. This would be fun. Some little boats. So we do that. Super cute. All right. All right. And then we have it. Really easy, really fun. And I love this new collection. I'm excited to get started with it, which I've already done. But look at the same page done with two different collections, and you get a totally different feel from each one, right? And let me just quickly, just so you can see, this might work. Let's see, what's the side? Oh, good, that's 4. So let me do 3 3/4. So I'm making these photo placeholders just so you can get a feel for what it looks like. Because I do feel like the dots are a little busy. But when there's just a little bit, and I can lift that. Because I like the idea of having them as the twin. So once I know what my photos are, then I can take those off. And to do that too much. So it's just enough to make the photos kind of jump out at you a bit, right? And then we do one more for that top one. Just trying to find all my lovely white. So this is 4 inches again. All right, so we'll do, let's do, okay. So we'll do 3 3/4. I was going to use my mouse as my tape runner. That wasn't going to help me too much, was it? All right. There we go. So now you get that really, oops, let me put my little embellishment on. Don't want to forget that guy. All right. So here we go. All right. So this is Life at the Lake. Having trouble remembering that. And this is Tropic Time. So two very different, oops. These embellishments are just jumping out at me. All right, so two different product lines, but they both work so well with this layout. All right, so let me just clear this off a second so I can point something out to everybody. If you are looking for an advisor, I would love to be yours. You can visit my website at www.creativememorys.com/user/Michelle Fitz. And if you want to reach out to me, you can by all means by emailing me at fitzy'sfabulousScrapbooks@gmail.com. And if you haven't already done so, and I know many of you have, and it's so exciting to have people join our Facebook group on a pretty constant basis now. But please, by all means, reach out, look us up. We are FRQ. Oops, let me get these out of the way. My little paper holders here. FRQ Glitz Girls Scrapbooking Group. And you'll have to answer a few questions. That's just to help us determine that you're not a bot or a scammer. And then we approve you and you can join right into the group. It's really that simple. I do other things as well. I have a monthly kit club now using those new simple kits that Creative Memories has put out since January. And I have a really good group going there. We've been having a lot of fun with it. And we are printing our photos off every month and getting them scrapped. So it's very exciting. I'm making progress in my own albums because of this. So I love that. Oh, let me come back up to me. Hold on. I always forget to do this. Here I am. Yeah, so we're making great progress in that group. So feel free to reach out. You can email me or message me on Facebook if that's something you'd be interested in. There's no fee. You just simply need to purchase the kit. Okay. Once I see that you've purchased the kit, then I can let you into the Facebook group. That's simple. All right. And let's see, what else did I want to tell you? Oh, and we have another group called Crop Crew. We've been doing Crop Crew now since July, first week of July in 2020. So we are a weekly subscription group. We meet every week. We complete a layout every week. The fourth week of each month, we do what we call pictures to pages, where you use up your layouts by putting photos on them. Some people will put photos on as we create, others tend to make a pile and then they go back to them. So anyway, we came up with pictures to pages to help people get caught up on putting their photos into the pages. And that's been very helpful. So anyway, that's $25 a quarter, $25 every 3 months, and it's less than $10 a month. So if that's something you want to do, also feel free to reach out to me through Facebook Messenger or my email by any means. All right. And I'm always looking to add people to my team. And if you're one of them that thinks this might be for you or that you'd like to jump on board, we'd love to have you. But I also know it can be a little intimidating, so feel free to just ask a few questions. There's no pressure and no obligation by any means. But that's completely up to you, excuse me, up to you as to what you want to do, but I'm here to answer questions if you have any, so feel free to reach out. All right, so that is my thing for tonight. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I appreciate all of you tuning in every week. I will hopefully be back next week with a new layout. We'll see what's coming down the road. Thanks so much for watching, and bye for now. Have a good week, everybody.